that maybe my mind is shifting over to the utility and value of Ethereum as a function of how much staking rewards I'm earning? You know, with the Bitcoin ETF off and running, and now we have new markets entering into this game of the Bitcoin ETF, I've begun to turn my view, as much as it was a little bit unnatural for me to do so, but I've begun to turn my view towards Ethereum. Now, yes. For those of you guys who've been with me for almost a decade now, you know my thoughts about Ethereum, because you guys know that I got rug pulled by Vitalik Buterin himself when the exchange that I was a part of got bamboozled, and he decided to roll it back. And that essentially, let's be intellectually honest, put Ethereum into a position where Ethereum is centralized. Period. Full stop. So, if we can all agree on the reality that Ethereum is centralized and is not truly decentralized, and we're okay with this, and the reality that unsophisticated policymakers, unsophisticated individuals, unsophisticated people who are pushing for Ethereum's growth will continue to push for Ethereum's growth, and they will win. And so, as a collector of data, as a collector of information, so that I can amalgamate, conglomerate, congeal all the data together, do my data analysis on it, and understand the markets that I must attack as a venture capitalist and investor, it's time in 2024 to start. I'm hesitating to say it, which is crazy, and of course I've written a script here around it, but it's time to start looking at Ethereum as a mechanism of value creation, right? As a mechanism for value growth, right? As a mechanism for monetary, growth, these types of things. I just have to admit this. And so we all know that Bitcoin is digital gold. That is the narrative. That's the narrative of Bitcoin is digital gold. Peace, table stakes, we get it, makes sense. I read an article recently that said that Bloomberg said that Ethereum needs a simple narrative so that people can understand, why would we want this asset class? Why would we want all of this market cap? Why would we want this technology to proliferate? Right? And so it's easy with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is digital gold. And Bloomberg says Ethereum needs a simple narrative. While Ethereum, in my opinion, is relatively, I'd say, hard to describe in one line. Here's a try at it. Ethereum's simple narrative could be a high-growth index fund for Web3 adoption, or a call option on Web3 adoption. A call option on Web3 adoption. So let me explain this, okay? Web3. We already know Web3 is the next iteration of the internet, in which we introduce global accounting ledgers and user-controlled data, digital property rights. This started in 2008-2009 with Satoshi Nakamoto because he started Web3 and digital sovereignty. The global accounting ledger equals the rails or infrastructure on which the next iteration of the internet commerce will take place. The Ethereum ledger, as I am seeing it today and as I am thinking about it and analyzing it, the Ethereum ledger today has the potential to do several things. So let's go through them. Number one, securely connect 8 billion people globally. It could. Could Bitcoin do that? Sure. Could Ethereum do it faster? Maybe. Number two, securely store and transact all of the world's financial assets in a peer-to-peer manner. Bitcoin's a little slow sometimes, but it's an asset, it's a store of value, it's digital gold. You really shouldn't be moving it anyway because you don't want capital gains implications. So, Ethereum and Ethereum's abstractions, all of the token projects on top of Ethereum, could truly store and transact all of the world's financial assets in a true peer-to-peer fashion. Could it be true? Institutionalized so? Potentially. Number 3, remake business models across several industries via the introduction of smart contracts and digital property rights. Now, you guys know we've been talking about Ethereum and smart contracts ever since it came out, and how smart contract growth increased over the years. Abso-freaking-lutely. Are we seeing multiple ways to create abstractions, permutations, different permission functions, filters, use cases, examples? Have we seen all of that grow in the market around smart contract functionality? Absolutely we have. We've seen it all. And much to my chagrin, it continues to grow anyway. Number 4, Ethereum could transform B2B interaction with shared accounting ledgers with automation via smart contracts like ERP or B2B interactions. So what this means is that, you know what? If we can have these shared ledgers across multiple industries, multiple partners, businesses, entities, etc., it could create and be a trusted ledger across these multiple entities that can actually be used for real commerce, trade, digital pulling, data pulling, all that stuff. So, could Ethereum be that bridge? Maybe. Number 5, Ethereum could house the global financial services industry for payments, trading, settlement, custody, lending and borrowing, and ownership records. It could truly be the mechanism in which all of these can interact, interplay, and work together. Number 6, transform business industries like digital art, obviously, collectibles, NFTs, gaming, brand loyalty, advertising, digital content, social media, web hosting, and cloud computing business models, creating new net markets on their own. So, as much as much to my chagrin, Ethereum is something that will not go away. It's almost like that one systems law, right? I forget what the name is, but essentially the systems law goes like this, is that the longer the dysfunctional system is around, the more that it'll persevere to be around. It's kind of like classic ASP or COBOL or, do people still use Cold Fusion, Dreamweaver? Like the old legacy codes are still around, and they're still around because they're still useful and they don't break. And so Ethereum is, in my mind, as I'm categorizing it at a data level, Ethereum is one of those things that it's just not going to go away. And so can we poo-poo some of the, let's just say, foundational elements that underpin it? Are there inherent risks with centralization and this type of control mechanisms that control Ethereum? Yes. But is there opportunity to profit? Is there opportunity to make money? Is there opportunity to build on it effectively? To this, I must say, I have conversations with people who are Bitcoin maxis all the time. And people tell me that I'm not a Bitcoin maxi. They would be correct. I am not a Bitcoin maxi. Now, I think a Bitcoin maxi is a very antagonistic position to be in. And guys, please. I'm not trying to rationalize anything here. Just hear me out. Like, Bitcoin maxi, what does that mean? Bitcoin above all else. Fair enough. I agree with that. The difference is you guys only buy Bitcoin. Fair enough. I'm willing to build on other systems. I am system agnostic. Now, have I personally been burned by the owner of Ethereum, Mr. Buterin? Yes, I've been burned. That's why it was always hard for me to participate. But that's almost a decade ago. And time has passed. And Bitcoin is ripping. It ain't going away. And Ethereum, likewise, is not going away. So, let me give you a couple questions that have been on my mind when it comes to Ethereum and Ethereum's narrative and where it might go in the future. Let's talk about it. So, here's a few questions for us to consider. How much should this global accounting ledger of Ethereum be worth? If you're thinking big numbers, maybe that's rationale enough to get in. Number 2, does it have a larger addressable market than Bitcoin? That you could make a very, very good argument that more people will have access to Ethereum than Bitcoin. Number 3, what does the competition look like? Guys, I've been in this game just as long as you have, maybe even longer, right? We have seen the interoperable networks and blockchains that were going to be the Ethereum killers, right? We've been through all of them. Do you remember Ubiq? Do you remember EOS? Do you remember AntShares? Now Neo, right? Do you remember Icon? Do you remember Cardano? Do you remember, right? I mean, I could go back and back and back and back and back and back. Ethereum's, the point is I'm actually making a solid argument for Ethereum being the survivor, okay? Next. Does Ethereum capture value from its adoption? That's the final question. Does Ethereum and Ethereum holders capture value from its adoption? If I've learned anything about the world of staking, which by the way I'm deep in, I have lots of nodes. If I've learned anything about the world of staking, am I making most of my staking revenue on the Ethereum and in the Ethereum world? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that reality of running my own nodes and staking and compounding yield in the Ethereum world, the ERC20 world, could it be said that maybe my mind is shifting over to the utility and value of Ethereum as a function of how much staking rewards I'm earning? What do you guys think?